We have a special guest today is Caitlin Martin. She is with the Weichert Realtors Andrews Group, based here in, where's your office at?
Green Hills.
Green Hills. Awesome. How long have you been with them?
Just at 3 years now. So I've been with them the whole time I've been in real estate.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Well, how's your week going? What are you seeing right now? In the current market? I know you got a closing here in 2 days. You've been pretty busy. Is that right?
Yeah, I've got one on Thursday, one coming on Friday, and then another one next week. So it's been a really good month. But the market, we're just still seeing it move pretty fast. The good side of it is that we've seen a tiny slowdown from the insanity that we saw. I mean, our real estate market absolutely exploded in March of this year. Like I tell people all the time, I got some clients into their dream neighborhood in Franklin in February, going only 15,000 over. And had we waited until the middle of March, they would have been priced out because the market went from like 15,000 over to like 75,000, 100 plus over in the matter of a few weeks back in the spring. So we saw craziness from March till June. We've seen a tight, like a little bit of a reprieve, but we still are dealing with low supply and high demand.
Wow. Yeah, it's pretty wild right now. And, one thing we always start with each episode with is what is a new restaurant or coffee shop that you are all about right now? Because Nashville's moving, Middle Tennessee is moving. I feel like there's something new each week popping up. Is there anything that is your spot right now?
I really enjoy, I mean, I know it's been open a couple of months now, but I really enjoy Eddie V's Prime Seafood down at 5th and Broad. I'm a big steak girl, and bourbon steak is my all-time favorite forever, probably. But Eddie V's, they've got great presentation and really good seafood, so I enjoy it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I have not been there. I've been to 60 Vines on top, but not at Eddie V's.
That's actually one place that I keep meaning to try, but reservations are booked out weeks in advance.
I know, it's nuts, but awesome. Well, let's jump right into it. We're going to talk about 2 properties today, so a little 2 for 1. Why don't you start with the first and just kind of give a layout of where it's at, the type of home, and just kind of start with that.
Yeah, so I had this wonderful family reach out to me at the beginning of the year, and they were looking to relocate from California, and they were looking for something. They wanted a little bit of land, enough room to either put in a pool or have a pool. They needed at least 5 bedrooms. They had a nice, healthy budget, and so and they also needed to be within close proximity to a certain private school that they wanted their kids to go to. They actually were enrolled in, and also within certain grocery stores. And so we searched and searched and searched. We put in, I think it was 1 offer, and we got beaten out on that property. And so I was bound and determined, though, because this was at the peak of the insanity of our real estate market. And so they had planned, after I came across a couple of, lots that they could build on if we decided to go that route, they decided to make a trip to come in for 24 hours. And I picked them up one morning, and I had sent them a list of properties that were either lots they could build on or ones that were coming soon. But I happened to remember a property in Franklin that I'd actually previewed last summer, so summer of 2020. It didn't work for the client that I had then, but I thought about that property and I was like, that actually checks a lot of boxes. Let me go see if it ever sold. So I went and checked the MLS, and it had actually expired and hadn't been back on the market since like fall of 2020. And so I was like, hey guys, I don't know if these sellers want to still sell, but let me know what you think about it from the old MLS photos. And if you're interested, we'll pursue it. So they came in town, we looked at all the options, and they told me, they're like, you know what, let's go drive by that place. And I was like, yes, let's do it. And so I had actually reached out to the old listing agent wanting to get info, see if the sellers might still be interested. That agent never got back to me. But then when we drove by the property that day, there was a new coming soon sign with a different agent in the yard. And I said, let me call them. They just so happened to be taking listing photos that day. we were able to essentially get them in, and 15 minutes after they were inside, they texted me and they said, "We want it. What do we got to do?" So we put a nice, strong, healthy offer together to essentially prevent it from going to market. And so that's how we got that one done. But I mean, we did, even we just really wanted to make it a very strong offer so that the sellers would understand that we knew what the market was doing and it was going to be good enough to keep it from going to market.
Wow, that's thinking outside the box too. It just goes to show if it never hurts to look at something, because you just never know when you might need to offer it again.
And that's the thing, this market can't oh no.
You're good. You're good.
Okay, sorry about that. No, that's the thing. With this market, you can't leave anything on the table. You have to get creative in order to find properties for your clients.
Wow, that's so cool. And in that offer, did you have any contingencies, or I mean, obviously those are kind of going out the window almost nowadays.
No, I mean, we obviously in the strong market we're in, sellers are very aware that people are waiving certain contingencies. So we didn't waive any contingencies, but we did make them stronger. Like we added extra verbiage in there, like I believe the inspection was pass fail, and no, that's wrong. Now that I think about it, but we were not, like, we let them know we're not going to nickel and dime you to death with repairs. So we were able to negotiate that. And then we also did non-refundable earnest money as soon as the appraisal contingency lifted.
Okay, gotcha. Was it all cash or was it conventional? What type
Nope.
of?
It was a finance deal, but they did a really nice, healthy down payment.
Okay, awesome. And you said that was in the Franklin area, somewhere around
Yep.
there? Awesome. Very cool.
Part was like, it's unincorporated, so they can put in whatever kind of pool and pool house they want to. It gives them the acreage. The husband was really excited about the fact that it has a little creek in the front yard. And even though it was only 4 bedrooms, there's actually a bonus craft room that they're going to be able to expand to create that 5th bedroom. So it'll check all the boxes.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome, because you can always, put up some drywall and block it off if you need to. And there's your 5th bedroom. Put a closet in.
Mm-hmm.
All good. Well, awesome. Well, thanks for sharing a little background about that. How about we move to the next one? Where's this one located?
So this one's going to actually be out in Hermitage. So this was a really interesting one. I have had a client for several months looking for an investment type property. And so when this one came on the market, we had been beaten out, I think, on 1 or 2 other offers, maybe 2, I think it was. And this was one where we went in, I called the agent like I always do before submitting an offer to figure out what the sellers are looking for. And I knew we were up against at least 2 other offers, but we made ours as strong as we could. But, knowing with the buyer's limitations, I mean, we maxed out what they were capable of doing and kind of let the dice fall where they would. But we actually ended up winning because of the financing situation. So because of the type of property it was, the seller felt most comfortable with our loan versus the other 2 options that were on the table. And so I was told we weren't the highest number, but because we were strong and they felt confidence in our financing ability, we won out. Plus, of course, we made our contingencies tighter as well, but the financing piece that made the difference.
That's awesome. Was it a conventional loan or what? Okay,
Yep.
we're up against some other FHA or different types.
Yeah, we are a conventional loan. We were up against cash, actually,
Oh, wow.
and an FHA loan.
Okay. Yeah, it goes to show you never know, just put that offer and you never know, what it's going to take to win. Are you even seeing anything besides conventional get accepted, or are you seeing any FHA type loans going through?
I actually haven't had somebody with an FHA loan in like the last year. So, but I mean, you're right though. Sometimes it's the tiniest details that can make all the difference. Like I did have one other client in the Donaldson area. We were in a multiple offer and we won because we decided to use their preferred title company for my buyer. And it saved the seller a little bit of money, saved my buyer a little bit of money. And that's why they decided to pick us.
Interesting. Yeah, that's creative. It's kind of just trying to think outside the box again to try to figure out, how to listen to what the seller wants, right? And then kind of reworking that offer to check all their boxes.
Absolutely. It's again, I'm learning sometimes it is the money amount, but sometimes it's other smaller details that can make all the difference.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for sharing about those two recent deals you've been working on. Now you've only been in the business for 3 years, is that right? And
Correct.
you've had a lot of success. You've just started to really trend upwards. I've seen your numbers. What's one thing you could share that you do either a daily basis or regular that you think contributes to your continued success?
I think two things. The first one is keep showing up even when it's really hard, because what people don't necessarily tell you when you're getting in the real estate industry is that, especially once you start getting the success, even before the success comes, it's really hard to get the business off the ground. You have to have perseverance and resilience when hard things happen. But once you do start having success, it can be really, it can feel very overwhelming, and it makes you just want to stay in bed all day sometimes, because you know that you have a very steep uphill climb every day. But it's a matter of just saying I'm still going to show up. I'm still going to work to the best of my ability and serve my people well, and making sure you do serve the people well above everything else. And then the other thing is doing video. Video is a really great way to connect with people. And so it helps attract the right clients and repel the wrong ones.
That's interesting. I've heard that video is becoming more and more obviously popular. Now it's a necessary, not just, maybe I should do it or not. Well, how do you incorporate video? Is it just sending video messages or introducing yourself through video when you first meet clients? How are you successful with it?
So I have a YouTube channel, which has been very successful for me. So I'm using video every week, producing new content for people, especially relocation clients, video when it comes to marketing my listings. And also, like you said, video messages, video text messages, video messages within email through a service called BombBomb. So I'm just using video as much as possible, because again, it's just an extra way to touch people and to serve them well.
Gotcha. Wow. Well, Caitlin, I really appreciate the time today. Definitely learned a lot from you, and I hope our listeners learned a few things along the way. And is there anything else that I should have asked you that I didn't?
I don't think so. Nashville is a great place to live if people are thinking about it. And I guess two things to know for people to know. I specialize in working with out-of-state buyers relocating to the Middle Tennessee area. And I also, on the flip side, for the selling side, I love working with savvy sellers. And I always say who want to sell right and sell smart, because there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. So, but yeah, those are the big things.
Awesome. What's the best way for people to find you? Obviously on YouTube, like you mentioned, but how can someone get in touch with you?
The best way is going to be email. And so my email is Caitlin, CAITLIN, at there'snoplacelikehomenashville.com.
Awesome. And we'll put that in the info too for the episode, so you all could just click on that. Well, thank you so much, Caitlin. It was a pleasure to have you on here, and wish you all the best.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right.